Well, hi guys and gals, it's me George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and look at them there things. Looks like 72 degrees to me. Yepper. And we're going into the shop to get some parts, and we're going to be taking them up to the carport because we're going to be working on the body for the Goofy cart. So we're going to come down here and one of my handy dandy cat litter cabinets. I got two more to put up. Oh, not that one. Yep, there it is. And I'll show you what they are once we get them all out of here. This one's a tachometer. You can take the paperwork with me. I think that's all I need. Yep, that's all I need from there. Smells just like fiberglass resin in there. I wonder why. Yeah, that's why. All right then. Close that cabinet. There's carburetors in there. And there's air filters of all kinds in there. So, let's take our gauges up and we'll see what we can see. So, the first thing to do is remove the gauges. Yeah, these things you lose the magnets when you don't want to, and when you wish you didn't have them, they get in your way. Okay, so we'll pull our holders off the back, and you'll notice that this one here was our speedometer, and it was set up to run off a cable drive, just like an automobile. And I never did figure out exactly how to do that properly. So we're going to disconnect that, and that one is plugged in right here. And this was just a power for the light. I have cut the wire tie down in here, so it's not tied into the bundle. That's the power wire for the light, and then this one here was tied in to the ground, and I'm just going to cut this ground wire back here. It goes to a common ground, so we'll pull that out of there. We pop that gauge right out of there, just like that. Now you can see the fitting on the back here. It was made for a regular speedometer cable to go on there. And I was going to try and work out a thing. I had a bicycle speedometer I was going to try to use the cable from and the drive for it and hook it onto the transmission, but we never got there. So we'll save this one for further reference later on. So I don't forget where they go. Put my retainer clip on the back. Put our washers on there. Put our nuts on there. And screw them right in. Okay, now we're looking down here at the, this is actually the tachometer, and all I can do is I can remove this wire here, which was supposed to be the hot wire, and I think this one plugs in over here. We'll undo all the wires, and figure out exactly where they go. Now, when you have the tools to do the job, you can hold them in place. See that? That just pushes forward and holds it, and if I pull this back, it releases it. Okay, so we get all the wires disconnected. We'll pop that out of there. And you can see you can get a big dirt smudge on the gauge face. So we'll do the same thing with this. We'll put our keeper on the back here. Put our nuts on it. So now our question is, will our new gauges fit in here? And remember, here is part of the problem here. Is with this wiring. This one screws on from the back. Has this big nut, I guess you'd call it, retaining nut. And it only actually has 2 wires on the back that have to connect to the dashboard itself. And set this down. We're just going to use the nut for the moment. And the rest of the unit has this sensor that screws in where this is right here. And I'll have to find out where we're going to mount that. I'm sure it tells me in the directions. But let's see how it's going to work. It's not quite going to make it there. See how it will make it over here. If I push the wires down, I think I can make it work there. I just have to make the hole bigger. And it'll just fit in by the brackets that hold in the amp gauge. Taken care of. Then I can pull my grill off and advance the timing. Gives a little more power, don't you know? Yeah, this puppy wouldn't be far off from going again. And now, to see if our gauge will fit. It's for the tachometer. And there we are. A perfect fit in every way. Look at that thing. Now let me set the other gauge in place. This is our GPS speedometer. And we just got to square it up a little bit. What do you think of them apples, huh? Yeah. Excuse me. Going to do it again. It's always in twos, it seems like. So I finish mounting them, and then we'll hook them up. Well, hi guys and gals. It's me, George, and this is a few days later. I've been working on my dashboard sporadically. And I think I finally have everything squared away. I can't test everything because it's not on the Goofy cart, not wired into the system. Like these 2 wires here. Oh, and there you go, see? Good thing we did this. I forgot I've got to hook this in down here. This is for the lights on this gauge. Let me do that real quick and I'll bring it right back. P.S. Yeah, there's another project coming home tomorrow. Hold on to your hats. We'll have the big reveal after we get it home. Okay, let's try this again. I've got this orange wire hooked up. That's for the backlight. You would think that the black wire would be the ground, but no, that's the signal for the tachometer. This is the tachometer here. That's the speedometer over there, which also has some other functions, which we'll discover after we get it hooked up to the Goofy cart. So I have it temporarily hooked up to this battery. There's the ground going down here, and I have jumper wire going from here to this place here where I have a bunch of grounds, and another over to there. So everything is grounded on here properly. And I have my hot wire, which is coming here off of my ignition switch, which is right down in there. And this wire that it's coming to, that's actually the supply. So let me turn this up here, see if I could do this with one hand now. The key is on, and that is indicated by that idiot light right there, or indicator light, I guess is a better way to say it. There are no lights on, but now we pull a light switch out, and this gauge comes on, and it lights up. This light gauge here in the middle, you can see the light down in there. And this light here, this gauge here, is lit up too. Let me see if we can see it. It's hard to tell, but we know it's working because we have the odometer. Stop shaking, George. The odometer is at 0. So, yeah, that's a good thing. So we're all hooked up, ready to go back into the body. And then we turn the headlights off and all the lights. Next thing I got to do now is I have to take it down here. Let me sit down. And all these tabs up in here are for mounting the dash panel. They're just in there loosely. And I decided not to put the rear view mirrors on there. They were really for looks. They're over there. So I just put a screw to fill the hole. This here is the GPS signal thing. Okay. And this will hook to the back of my speedometer. So that'll give us all of our satellite information for the GPS speedometer. And then, once we get that mounted in there, I have done some checking, and it appears that the dash, I mean not the dash, but the firewall is going to work just as it is. The only thing I have to do now is once I get it mounted in place, I think my other choke cable will come through there. It comes through here, and the second one I've added will come through there. This used to be for throttle linkage, but it's going to be non-functional anymore. So that's ready to go on. I have cleaned everything. I redid this mount for my dashboard, even a dashboard for my windshield. I even did some polishing on it. Still has some scratches because it got dumped, and this rubber on here was not big enough, allowed it to keep sliding back and forth. I think we got it now, and I've got my marble super glued in there, so that should stay. So we're about ready. Well, as it happened, my friend Tim stopped by, and he was here just in time to help me reinstall the body on the Goofy cart, and I started it up for him. My next chore is to bolt the body down and hook up all these wires from the dashboard to the taillights and other things. See, this is a ground wire here and a hot wire there to the battery. Thanks again for watching, commenting, subscribing, thumbs up, sharing, all them good things. I mean, when was the last time, come on now, tell me the truth, when was the last time you saw a lawnmower engine with dual carburetors? Dual exhaust isn't totally unusual, but dual carburetors and dual exhaust, yeah, she's going to be a goer. I think so. Bye for now.